It is 58 minutes past 8 p.m. East African time. A very good evening to you and a warm one to those celebrating with family and friends on this special 25th day of December 2022. We have a lot lined up for you tonight, but first let's have a look at the highlights. Tonight, Kenyans from all walks of life flock churches and entertainment joints to celebrate this year's Christmas.
Kwa hivyo nimeamua tu ni hiyo kibasi yangu itaishia hapa Uhuru Park na familia.
With President William Ruto asking Kenyans not to allow circumstances to dictate their destiny. A community elder in Samburu County comforts families affected by bandits by gifting them cows that had been stolen by bandits.
Serikali ya county naomba pia national government ikumbuke kusaidia watu kwa sababu hao ng'ombe wakipeleka hata saa hii sio kitu na sana kusaidia haraka. Itachukua muda isaa ikuwe ng'ombe akamuliwa.
Imagine always paying taxes faithfully but being unable to enjoy basic services like your fellow compatriots.
Anaweza kuomba kama serikali inaweza kunisaidia mimi. Mletie gloves, mletie dawa kwa sababu hata mama mjamzito kama amesajifungua iko dawa ambayo inapatikana mama amese nguvu yake arudi. Na hiyo dawa mimi sina.
Tonight we shine a spotlight on a forgotten island in Kenya. Good evening and welcome to the broadcast. My name is Eric Munene. Our Sang language interpreter is Philip Omondi. We begin. President William Ruto has raised concerns over the huge amount of debt that is being serviced, saying it is his desire to tackle the crisis that the country is facing. Ruto, while in his home turf of Eldoret attending a church service, noted that the country will refocus on tax collection, as Moige William now reports.
President William Ruto joined residents of his hometown in Eldoret for a joint interdenominational Christmas church service at the Eldoret Sports Club. Accompanying him, the First Lady Rachel Ruto and a host of Kenya Kwanza allied leaders. Part of his Christmas message to the congregants was matters turning around the country's economy, saying the government is currently paying 1.4 trillion shillings annually towards servicing debt.
We have built our economy on the basis of debt. That is why we are paying 1.4 trillion shillings every year to debt. We have to change that foundation so that we, instead of building our economy on the basis of debt, we want to build our economy on the basis of our own revenues that we are raising from the people of Kenya.
The president reiterated that the Kenya Kwanza government will seek to relook into the borrowing policy within 3 years so that Kenya can live within its means and not to heavily depend on debt from foreign nations, especially on funding the country's budget.
We cannot continue kujenga uchumi wetu tukikopa pesa. Na ile pesa tunakopa ni ile wengine wamefanya saving. Lazima tuanze kujenga savings yetu kama taifa. Ndio tuweze kujenga msingi wa taifa letu katika pesa ambazo tunakusanya kutoka wa Kenya.
The president also urged Kenyans to make it a habit of always paying taxes in order to help in offsetting the debt that the country has, which will also assist in the country earning its financial independence.
Tutaongeza ile mapato ya ushuru katika taifa letu la Kenya by 20% this year, and we want to do so every year until we secure the independence of this country by using our own resources to drive our own development.
Away from matters economy, Ruto called for the unity of the country, adding that the country had moved on from the 2022 political phase and that it is time to concentrate on building the country's economy.
Going forward, we are going to have politics that is devoid of ethnicity and politics that is devoid of conflict or violence. We are going to have peaceful politics in the Republic of Kenya, and we are going to ensure that our politics unite the people of Kenya, not to divide them.
Earlier, the first family spent the better part of the day at the President's Sugoi rural home, interacting with residents and sharing Christmas gifts with them. Moige William, TV 47.
Well, thank you for that, reporter Mwege William. Now, Kenyans from all walks of life streamed into churches and entertainment joints as Christmas celebrations reached fever pitch. Our reporter Collins Lusweti takes a keen look at the celebrations across the country and also at the counties.
In Nairobi, many gathered in places of worship for Christmas celebrations. In Presbyterian Church of East Africa in Loresho, worshippers gathered with the sermon of the day, reminding the congregation to follow the example of the three wise men, as well as sharing with the needy during this festive season.
Make a choice of following the path of the three wise men. It is the easier choice. Keep walking. You've done 850 miles. You are only remaining with 50. Keep righteousness. Keep holiness. Keep purity.
Let us share. Let us be people who are respectful in all manner. Let us take care as we drive on our roads.
Other than places of worship, hundreds of Nairobi residents streamed to Uhuru Park together with their families and friends, with the business people reaping big as a result. A number of them say they were unable to travel to rural areas due to the high cost of living.
Nimetoka Kisumu kuja kusherehekea Christmas Nairobi na familia yangu. Wafurahie, they call it a day.
Nimeamua nisafiri niende nyumbani kwa sababu ya changamoto za maisha venye unaelewa.
Pamoja na familia tuko poa, tumefurahia. Tuko Uhuru Park sasa tunajienjoy.
In Bungoma County, more than 400 street children were treated to a Christmas party organized by the county government at Uwanja Ndege area, with the responsible department in the county promising to take the street children to schools and train in colleges. Students who excelled in the recently released KCP exams at Oltiasika Primary School in Kajiado County, together with their parents and teachers, got a golden opportunity to celebrate their achievements in the Christmas party organized by the school.
Wakienda kunywa pombe, wengine wakila miraa, wengine wakilala kwa mitaro, sisi tunasherekea matokeo mazuri.
Elsewhere, over 800 families in Machakos County in danger of hunger and starvation benefited from a food donation exercise by well-wishers to enable them celebrate Christmas in style. The area Senator Agnes Kavindu led the exercise.
Kuna mahali kwingi pia hakujanyesha. Kwa hivyo ninaomba serikali kuu ishirikiane na serikali ya county ili tusaidie watu wetu wasije wakakufa na njaa.
The Nubian community in Nairobi celebrated Christmas at the Kenyatta International Conference Center, calling on the government to speed up the process of recognizing and registering them in the country.
Right now, all we are asking for, and this one goes to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable William Samoei Ruto, it's high time, as a Nubian community, we need to be gazetted as an official tribe of Kenya.
In Mombasa County, Archbishop Martin Kivuva called on Kenyans and especially the youth to exercise caution and behave in a proper manner, saying many youth fall in trouble during this festive season.
Tusipoteze maisha yetu kuingia mambo ambayo yatatupotosha baadaye au yatawatia wengine katika shida mbalimbali.
It's a day that has seen Christmas celebrations reach fever pitch, with many Kenyans gathering in places of worship and entertainment joints. However, Kenyans have been reminded to remain on high alert, especially on the roads and elsewhere, to avoid any trouble during this festive season. Collins Lusweti, TV47, Nairobi.
Well, thank you for that, Collins Lusweti in his full gear celebrating the Christmas season. Now, 2022 has been a tough year for a majority of the pastoralist communities who had to contend with the spate of attacks from bandits. On this day, George Lanyasunya, a community elder in Samburu County, brought a smile to the affected families by gifting them cows that were stolen by bandits. Sharon Baranga reports.
This community at Losuk location in Samburu County has had a not so good year. bandits attacked, killing 5 people and drove away livestock of unknown value, plunging the community into a season of mourning. But the tides are changing, as one of the community elders brought them livestock as Christmas gifts.
Na mimi nikaona kwa sababu hii watu wanategemea hii mifugo na wameteseka sana, kwa sababu hata wengine wamechukuliwa ng'ombe yote, hakuna kitu imebaki, wamechukuliwa mbuzi yote, hakuna kitu imebaki, na hiyo wanyama ndio walikuwa wanategemea. Na wengine walipoteza pia watu yao ambao walikuwa wanategemewa, sasa wanategemewa, hawana mtu analetea chakula. Nikaona kwa sababu jana yangu ilikuwa mbaya, kama leo siku yao ya leo, nikasema kwa sababu leo yangu ni mzuri, wacha niwasaidie at least hata hao waweze kuwa na kitu ya kufurahia.
Each of the 32 families represented in this community received a cow and goats, gifts they believe will help launch them into another chapter in their lives.
Watu ilipotea watu yao, watu 5, na ile wengine mpusi, na ile wengine ng'ombe. Ilipata hiyo ng'ombe. Kwa hivyo asante sana. Hakuna mtu kama naona hii ng'ombe, iliona kama alama yake, si kununua, yani ng'ombe yake tu, hata iko alama moja kwa masikio. Kwa hivyo naomba Mungu napatia tena.
Naomba pia serikali ya county, naomba pia national government ikumbuke kusaidia hii watu, kwa sababu hao ng'ombe wakipeleka hata saa hii sio kitu na sana kusaidia haraka. Itachukua muda isaa ikuwe ng'ombe akukamuliwa, itachukua muda ikuwe ng'ombe ambaye nanona ikuswa kwa soko. Kwa hivyo naomba Mungu na naomba pia serikali yawasaidie at least wawe na kitu ya kukula. Kwa hivyo naomba nyinyi mkuwe strong, hao watu ambao nimepatia ng'ombe ienda ufungulie, ukijua Mungu atakufungulia njia sahihi.
A number of families from the pastoralist communities have lost their loved ones and livestock to bandits. The perennial attacks in Samburu, Baringo, Elgeyo Marakwet, West Pokot and Turkana counties have greatly affected the quality of life in those regions. Sharon Baranga, TV47.
Now, Mombasa remains to be one of the most favorite destinations in the country for many domestic and international tourists who are excited to explore the Swahili culture and experience the sandy beaches. On Sunday morning, Tourism CS Penina Malonza received 572 tourists at the port of Mombasa who docked with the Nautica cruising vessel.
Tourism at the coast got a boost after a cruise ship docked at the Kenya port of Mombasa on Christmas Day. The ship arrived in the country early morning with 572 tourists.
We don't have any lions or leopards or giraffes or whatever, so we're looking forward to seeing Kenya.
I'm happy to be here, my first time in Africa, and the ship experience has been great. Also, people here has been wonderful. I'm happy to see you guys.
The Nautica was the second cruise ship to arrive in the country within a month after the World Odyssey, which docked at the terminal on November 27th. Tourism Cabinet Secretary Penina Malonza, who received the tourists, has lauded the gesture, saying that the arrival of more cruise ships will inject a lot in the country's economy.
I can without a doubt say that out of the arrival of this cruise ship today, over almost 100 million will be injected in the economy through tourism activities, including visits to different attractions as well as accommodation. And so far we know a charter is left to suffer, and we know many others are leaving to other destinations.
In addition, she has registered her proposal to work together with various sectors and ministries to boost tourism.
Therefore, the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Heritage will be actively engaging with relevant stakeholders, among them the Ministry of Transport and Operators, to ensure that the cruise industry benefits from the presence of relevant infrastructure at the Kenyan coast.
At the Travelers Beach Hotel in Mombasa, tourism glory seemed to shine brighter during the Christmas season, with similar hotels and entertainment joints around the county fully booked. The 2022 Christmas Eve was celebrated with joy as both local and international tourists flocked the coastal region, seeking to explore diverse tourism destinations, food, and the rich Swahili culture. According to Hilary Siele, the general manager of Travelers Beach Hotel in Mombasa, tourism glory seemed to shine brighter during the season as compared to last year's.
Christmas today, as you can see, it's very beautiful. We have full house. We have clients all over Kenya. We have overseas clients as well. We are celebrating a theme called Legends of the World through this festivity. We're celebrating all the legends, and it's not only about the legends, but the cuisines related with that, with those various countries.
And on Sunday early morning, the streets of Mombasa were almost empty as most people stayed home to observe the day. Many went to places of worship to celebrate, while others went for entertainment at the beach. Paul Munio, TV 47, Mombasa.
Now moving on, Central Region Police Commander Lydia Lugami has urged motorists to be extra careful on the roads during the Christmas and New Year periods, directing traffic officers to impound unroadworthy vehicles and arrest excess passengers in public service vehicles. Meanwhile, National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula has called on Transport Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen to put on notice uncontrolled road users who will be found drunk and misusing roads. The story was produced by Andrew Juma.
Speaking at a roadblock setup at Blue Post, Murang'a County Central Region Police Commander Lydia Lugami said traffic officers have been deployed on the roads to improve security and also to help facilitate motorists' movement.
Christmas holidays are here with us, and many people are traveling up country and to other destinations for holiday. We, the police, are determined to make your holiday better by ensuring that you travel safely and reach destinations, and we are also ensuring that you are well guarded wherever you go. However, we appeal to Kenyans that as you travel, adhere to road signs, traffic rules, and that you be considerate to other road users.
Lugami says a lot of motorists are now using unroadworthy vehicles, thereby causing major traffic jams as the vehicles break down easily.
Avoid overlapping, and especially where there are accidents, kindly do not overlap so that you allow us to clear the accidents for you to continue with your travel. We also appeal to Kenyans that as you go on with your Christmas holidays, you make the Christmas safe by taking care of yourselves, making sure you are safe wherever you are, and making sure that you don't overindulge into drugs and alcohol.
She says that the crackdown is targeting speeding, lane indiscipline, and assessment of general compliance of motorists.
We, the police, want to assure you that we'll take every step to make sure that you are safe, but kindly celebrate responsibly.
Meanwhile, National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula has asked Transport Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen to move with speed during these festivities and impound unroadworthy vehicles and road users who break road rules and regulations to avoid unnecessary road accidents.
Mara mingi wakati wa Krismasi, drivers throw caution to the wind and drive recklessly. Wengine wanakuwa walevi. Tunataka kuita polisi wahakikishe ya kwamba sheria za barabara zinazingatiwa na kila mtu ili wananchi wasiumie kwa ajali ambazo zinaweza kuepukika.
Wetangula was speaking in Kabuchai, Bungoma County, where he was attending a church service. He also urged Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki to take action by ordering the arrest of those who break laws during this festive season.
Tunawarai polisi wetu, Waziri Profesa Kindiki, uhakikishe kila mahali tunadumisha usalama ili wananchi waweze kusherekea Christmas wakiwa kwa usalama wa kutosha, wasihangaishwe na majambazi na wahalifu.
Well, moving on. I beg your pardon. Moving on, Azimio Coalition Party leader Raila Odinga has told his supporters to brace for new political direction in the new year to counter what he terms as failures of President William Ruto's Kenya Kwanza administration. Odinga's statement comes ahead of the opposition's anticipated cost of living demos next month, meant to push the government to lower food and fuel prices. Critics, however, say Odinga is on a new push to rebrand himself politically against fellow co-principal of Azimio, Kalonzo Musyoka, ahead of the 2027 presidential election.
Azimio Coalition Party leader Raila Odinga has the stage set for the new year, promising his supporters a new direction as Azimio goes back to the drawing board on how to oversight President William Ruto's Kenya Kwanza administration and remain relevant in 2023.
Mimi sijavunja kufa moyo. Mimi niko imara. Unaona yale nilisema mimi nitaongea mwaka ikianza. Nitatoa mwelekeo. Ndio kusema tunapita hapa basi.
Odinga, who criticized the president for what he said was failing to implement pro-poor people policies, as he promised during the campaigns in his first 100 days in office, vowed to take the president head-on next month with a series of protests until the government brings down the cost of living.
Sisi tumetoa ile scorecard. Leo ndicho habari wanasema, nyinyi mmekuwa hash sana na watu wa Kenya Kwanza, ati mpate hao 40%. Walisema ingine nikiweka Biblia chini nitafanya. Bei ya unga itatoka 200, itatoka 200 tarudi 70. Imerudi chini. Imerudi chini.
As he heads into the new year, Odinga's main headache is how to consolidate a strong Azimio opposition after a number of his allies switched to President William Ruto's camp, especially in his traditional strongholds of Nyanza, Western and Ukambani.
Your Excellency, I have seen what you've been doing in other constituencies, and I have seen what you are doing for Kenya. I've read your manifesto, and I want to tell you, the way you are going, ni Mungu tu atakusimamisha. Mimi vile unaendelea mazee, vindu vichenjanga. Mimi vile naona, Your Excellency, mimi sikudanganyi. 2022 mazee tulikuwa side ingine. Lakini vile umeanza, watu wa mavoko zivindu vichenjanga.
A move by the government to create the office of the official opposition leader has also left the opposition in a dilemma on the intention of the push, despite the legal challenges facing the proposal.
If Raila wants to be contained, he will be contained. And one way of Raila wanting to be contained is by falling for such things. As this cheap thing of official leader of the opposition. If they fall for it, if they begin to fight for it with the Kalonzo and the rest, and Mother Karua and Raila, then they will not contain Ruto.
The attempted amendment to the constitution to create positions that seem to be tailor-made for individuals is a terrible thing to do. And one of the problems with Kenya is that we are very good at amending the constitutions or making constitution to fit certain individuals. And this seems to be one of the cases. Now, what is the effect of that? One is a handshake. Backdoor handshake.
The 2027 general election is also another wild card for the Azimio camp, as Odinga and fellow Principal Kalonzo Musyoka are still said to be harboring presidential ambitions, with each other stealing the limelight to stay relevant and consolidate their support base against Ruto, who will be seeking a second term in office.
What you have now is Raila and Kalonzo really having a fierce fight as to who becomes the leader of the official opposition. Not so much holding the office, but recognition by the public that he's the one. So he's the automatic leader or the automatic candidate in 2027. That's the issue.
The office of the official opposition leader is high on the agenda when Azimio meets next month, with members deliberating on whether or not they should adopt or reject the proposal. Apol Kamau, TV47.
Well, that report there by Apollo Kamau brings us to the first break of this broadcast. Remember, we still have that special piece on the forgotten island. Don't go away, keep it right here.
You are watching TV47, the home of untold stories.
Hey! Kaluma King Herbal Lozenges zinazo nguvu maradufu kutuliza kikohozi, vidonda vya koo na mafua. Kaluma King ni shwari.
Tika mama huyo muharifu kaiba kuku zangu, vifaranga wangu na mayai zote pia kabeba. Aya, tika mama huyo.
Maumivu yakizidi, muone daktari.
Discover a world full of opportunities, a place to build your skill and see the world in a different perspective. Sensei Institute of Technology is the home to the best practical courses, giving you hands-on experience to handle the world. We offer courses such as plant operator, plant mechanics, driving and trailer driving, CCTV and alarm installation, solar installation, electrical installation, motor vehicle mechanics and electronics, building construction technology, welding fabrication, roads and dam construction, hospitality courses, and many more. For you to join us, ensure you have your national ID card and be ready to enjoy the ride.
Remember, my skills, my future at Sensei.
Sensei College, my skills, my future.
The secret to an instant glow and spotless skin. Acne C10 is a 10% pure vitamin C serum that effectively fades dark spots and clears dark patches. With a unique formulation, it is quickly absorbed deep into the skin to give optimal results. Acne C10, 10% pure vitamin C serum, safe on all skin types.
Are you looking for a college that will impact your practical skill sets? Trisent School of Medical Health and Science Technology offers market-driven programs in diploma and certificate levels in the schools of health sciences, social sciences, applied sciences, and business and informatics. Enroll for our January 2023 intake to enjoy seamless student experience. You deserve qualified faculty leadership to set a good guide for your career. Trisent School of Medical Health and Science Technology, partners in your journey to excellence.
Karibuni sana, karibuni. Niwauzie?
Ugali matumbo batia mimi.
Ugali matumbo! Na wewe? Ipe wali maragwe? Wali? Wewe, mchele madando hapo! Na
nilikuwa nataka kaomena na kadoma.
Customer, usijali chakula yako tutakutengenezea kwa dili yako tu.
Maisha yako, mapendeleo yako. Tunukiwa na Safaricom. Chagua bei yako ya kupiga simu au data. Piga *444# au utembelee My Safaricom app upate deal poa ya kupiga simu. Uongee zaidi au ubrowse zaidi.
Nataka chapati na crips.
Mala sausage. Nataka ugali na
TV47, the home of untold stories.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Now, Kenya adopted universal health coverage that will ensure all persons in Kenya access essential services that they need for their health and well-being without suffering financial hardships. This is also enshrined in Kenya's Constitution 2010 and Right to Health and Development agenda outlined in Vision 2030. But Aluru Island in Migori County seems to be abandoned and ignored by the government and doesn't enjoy this right. The island that has a population of about 1,000 people does not have a hospital, school, or even toilets, and for residents to access some basic services, they have to cross the lake using a boat, which is costly for many who can hardly provide a meal for their families. Our reporter Violet Auma visited the island and saw the struggles of Aluru residents, especially pregnant mothers and the sick who resort to local remedies like traditional birth attendants, since a community health volunteer who acts as a link between the residents and the outside world visits only once a month. Have a look.
It is around 10 o'clock in the morning. We leave Okiro Beach for Aluru Island. Aluru is one of the islands in Lake Victoria in Nyatike sub-county, Migori County. I'm told it will take us about 40 minutes to the island, thanks to this speedboat with an engine. I'm told the manual robots takes about 3 hours to the island. I'm accompanied by Paul Odonde, who is a community health volunteer in this area. He tells me he visits the island once a month because it is costly traveling all the way.
Kuna boti serikali kusana hapa, watu wanaweza enda nayo. Sasa anaenda tu kivyao. Hata kusaidia tu.
Hiring a speedboat ranges between 1,500 to 2,000 Kenyan shillings one way to the island, while the passenger boat costs about 500 Kenyan shillings. That means that you have to wait until the boat is full board. Aluru Island has approximately 1,000 people. The residents feel cut off from the real world.
Wakati kupiga kura naenda nje.
Nje wapi? Sasa uko ngambo.
Sorry
So wanapiga kura sorry.
Sorry, wengine wanapiga hata Nyamanga kulingana na station mtu ameregister.
The island lacks social amenities such as hospitals, schools, clean water, electricity, and even toilets. To get them here is a luxury, or maybe a dream that is yet to come to pass. Many who are in dire need of these services are forced to travel across the lake.
Sasa iko kwa desk yake.
Shida za Aluru ziko kwa desk ya mbunge.
In Aluru, I met a 48-years-old Silpa Odero, commonly referred to as Mama Joy, who almost becomes the government. Mama Joy is a president without a title, at least in terms of reproductive health services.
Akamkuta kama mtoto naanza kuitoka kwa kichwa, ameanza kuitoka. Akaingiza mkono yangu miwili hivi. Akaisukuma hivi pole pole, mtoto akaanguka.
Against all odds, Mama Joy is trying to fill the gaps that have been left by the county government in terms of provision of reproductive health services, as well as food and other products to keep the island going.
This is 200 shillings in Aluru. Nimeona kama watu wanahangaika hivi, afadhali nianze kidogo kidogo tusaidie watu.
Mothers are delivering at her place. She's struggling because women here are still giving birth, not by choice. The ability to decide whether to have children, how many and with whom is fundamental to the reproductive rights of girls and women.
Akaingiza mkono yangu kama ni msafari lope. Akaishika tu ile kamba ya mtoto akaenda naye pole pole mpaka nimefika kwa ile kitu. Nimetoa mpaka ndani chini. Hata malipo hata shilingi. Bana hasa kuomba kama serikali hasa kunisaidia mimi. Mletie gloves. Mletie dawa kwa sababu hata mama sijamzito kama amesao jifungua. Iko dawa ambayo inapatikana mama amese nguvu yake arudi. Na hiyo dawa mimi sina. 31 years old Belinda Anyango is a mother of 3 and a resident of Aluru.
She says she did not have money to cross the other side for family planning services, only to realize she was pregnant again. Her second child was only 8 months old at the time.
Kama uko na pesa 500 unatoka kuenda, kama una siendi.
She opted to seek Mama Joy's services during delivery since she could not manage to raise 1,500 shillings to hire a boat as an emergency to take her to hospital. At the same time, the boats were not available.
Nimesikia uchungu ya kuzaa. Jakoma anasema leo hakuna boti hapa. Boti wanaenda barini yote. Mama Joy anakuja kama mtoto anatoka. Alafu anipatia dawa ingine ya kienyeji. Nimemeza hiyo dawa, alafu mtoto anatoka.
Lives of many pregnant women here are at risk, but Mama Joy is doing her best since she is the only hope of Aluru.
Hata ukuuliza huyo mama amekusaidia, umelipa pesa ngapi? Hakuna hata sabuni ya 20.
Just like Belinda's kids, many children born here are not fully immunized.
Kama mtoto alikuwa anaanguka hivi, nimemkuta kama mtoto amesaa kufa samani kwa sababu amesaa kwa nyeupe. Nimejaribu hapa mtoto arudi, nimekataza. Niambia huyu mtoto amesaa kufa.
At Mama Joy's shop, I met Priska Mariam, who is a bar attendant at Aluru. She's 6 months pregnant with her third child. Today, she has visited Mama Joy for her clinic.
Unaweza kutoka nyumbani una mimba ila ukawa na mimba kwenye matembezi. Hata huyo alikuja tu kwa bahati mbaya.
With her meager pay of 150 shillings daily, she says Mama Joy is her only hope for safe delivery for a pregnancy she says she didn't plan for.
Unaweza uchungu ukaanza usiku, hamna boti yoyote ya kupeleka nje. Inabidi utajifungulia hapa. Na uwezo ukajua unaweza ukajifunguaje vibaya au vizuri.
Other than helping mothers to deliver here, Mama Joy, who is a mother of 12, also does health promotion by encouraging women to go for family planning services.
Kama mtu anaweza kukaa kila miaka umebeba mtoto, kila miaka umebeba mtoto na uwezo wenyewe hakuna ya kunini watoto.
Benta Okelo lives a few meters from Mama Joy's home. She's the wife to Tobias Okelo, the chairman of the beach management unit in Aluru. She rushed to Mama Joy's house after labor pains kicked in late in the night.
I just gave birth here. I didn't have any problems. The placenta delayed to come out. But when we called Mama Joy, she gave me some herbs and it came out. The challenge is to visit the clinic. Sometimes we have a lot of work, and getting to clinics that are far away is difficult, and often we don't have fare.
Sasa nikajaribu kupiga masimu hapo nje kama mtu anaweza kusaidia sisi hata na boti. Na masaa ilisaenda kama saa 3. Nikajaribu, ilikuwa kuona. Nikaenda kwa Mama Joy nikamuita kama inawezekana. Akaniambia tuombe tu Mungu kama inawezekana tutamwona.
Okelo says other than healthcare, the residents face a lot of challenges.
Mtu anaweza kutaka ishi na mtoto wake hapa. Na hakuna shule, hospitali hakuna, choo hakuna, hata taa, security light hakuna. Sasa hapa tunaishi tu hivyo na bahati ya Mungu. Sasa tunabidi, kuna upande wa nyuma huko, kuna upande tumeachia mtu akienda haja anapanda huku juu mlima ndio anaenda kujisaidia. Lakini tu kwa uwanja hivi.
Beach management unit officials say that even after voicing out their issues, no action has been taken.
Sasa sisi tumekaa gizani. Hatujui kama sisi nani wa Kenya. Wakati wa mbulu wanataka mbulu kwetu. Na wanakuja wanatupromise kwamba nikienda nitaleta hii, lakini wakishaenda hakuna matokeo yale tunapata.
Wabaharini wakipata wavuvi wananunua samaki huko, boti ikikuja inakuja bila samaki. Na tumeshasema hii mara mingi, tumeshamwambia watu wa fisheries wajasaidia sisi.
Sisi tunakunywa maji ya ziwani, sasa zingine hakuna dawa. Unaweza kuikunywa Ndio mimi nilikuwa nauza water guard. Water guard ndio nasaidia sisi hapa. Sasa zingine mimi sina water guard. Na mtu anataka kunywa maji. Kama hakuna.
Migori County Reproductive Health Coordinator Joseph Okidi says plans are underway to address their plight.
Unfortunately, Aluru, I know we don't have a health facility at Aluru. Given now you went there, it is also evidence from what you met there. I think now that is something that we'll share so that at least we give priority to it. That is now a gap that already you identify.
And that is the gap Mama Joy is trying to fill. She's so vital to the island. According to UNFPA, access to family planning is an essential human right that unlocks unprecedented rewards for economic development. But there is no family planning services here.
Nimekosa nini family planning. Alafu nimeenda mara pili, nimepata kwa sio kwa nini hospitali ya serikali, nimekosa. Nimeenda kwa nini huko private ya sio sent kokeo, nimepata hapo ya mwezi 3 ya huyo ya serikali nalipa 100 ya serikali 100 kwa health center.
The only available family planning services here is male family planning, the male condoms, which leaves family planning in the hands of men, making women suffer the brunt of having to bear kids even when they did not want to. Methods of contraception include oral contraceptive pills, implants, injectables, vaginal rings, intrauterine devices, condoms, male and female sterilization, withdrawal, among others. According to the World Population Report, nearly half of all pregnancies in Kenya are unintended and 60% of them end up in unsafe abortion. Okidi says despite numerous interventions, among them in-reaches and outreaches, as well as organizing maternity days, 8% of mothers still deliver at home, with 3 maternal deaths reported monthly. Okidi reveals that postpartum hemorrhage is the biggest killer of mothers in the county.
The last one that we did, the last review, we were at 123 deaths per 100,000 live birth, which in itself, if you look where we are, is a reduction.
He fears that family planning uptake in the county may reduce since 3 years birth control implant, that is preferred method in Migori County at 40%, has been unavailable for 3 years now.
Yeah, the preferred method of family planning, I think, is the implant, and it's very specific, the implant-on, that is one road. Unfortunately, from the national level, it has not been there for the last 3 years.
According to the Ministry of Health, Kenya has pledged to increase the modern contraceptive prevalence rate for married women from 58% to 64% by the year 2030. The government also plans to reduce unmet need for family planning for all women from 14% to 10% by the year 2030. To reduce maternal and neonatal deaths, Migori County has opted to bring on board traditional birth attendants to ensure all mothers deliver in hospitals. But it seems they haven't reached out to Mama Joy, who is the only one in Aluru Island. Despite Aluru residents participating in electing national and county leaders, they feel abandoned, ignored, and denied their constitutional rights.
Fika upande wa kura, tunatoa wapo watu wote naenda kupiga kura. Kuna mtu anabaki hapo. Na usuru pia tunatoa. Sasa sijui kwa nini serikali haiwezi kuangalia sisi. Gavana wetu kama tungemuona, hata tunataka tu muone hivi, tungemwambia mahali tunaishi tuko na shida. Tunaishi tu kama hata sio binadamu. Hata ng'ombe hawezi ishi mahali tunaishi sahi, kwa sababu mtu hawezi ishi mahali hakuna dawa. Eti hawezi kujisaidia, hakuna choo na anakula.
Maji ndo tunatumia kuyanywa. Watu wanajisaidia nje, yanarudi majini. Kama sasa hivi mvua ikinyesha, si yote yanarudi kwenye maji.
They're now urging the government to hear their cry and do the needful by putting up a health facility at the island, patrol boats, toilets, a school for their children, and a government boat to ease transport to and from the island.
Naweza kuambia situ serikali amuonie sisi huruma. Hapa hakuna choo, hapa hakuna boat, hata amletie hata boat moja na engine moja ambao naweza kumpeleka mtoto mgonjwa nje.
Maji inatusumbua sana, hata ukinywa saa hii unasikia tu inafanya pu.
They say the government only gives them free condoms due to high rates of HIV infections in the counties along the lake.
Condoms tu peke yake tukuriski sana. Natuambia upande wa Lake Victoria hivi kuna joto, mtu anaweza kuendana na mwenzake hata mara 3. Sasa inataka kana kinga, na ile chakula ambayo tunatumia hii samaki inachemsha mwili. Sasa inatakikana tukae na kinga.
And as for Mama Joy, she says she will continue joyfully helping mothers until the government intervenes.
Hakuna chochote ambao msalipa, hata ukiuliza nani, hata ukiuliza huyo mama, hakuna hata shilingi. Na mimi bado iko na roho tu.
Violet Auma, TV47, Migori County.
Thank you for that, Violet Auma. We really hope that the relevant authorities are going to take action and help the residents of Aluru Island. Time now to get sporty. In the last 10 years, Kenya has had a generation of great players, a generation which witnessed victories and won trophies. Among those who played during the golden time is Andrew Amonde, who goes down as the longest-serving captain of the Kenya Sevens team.